Kyle Klingman with Track Wrestling alongside Andy Hamilton for our wrap-up show of the biggest high school wrestling weekend of the year. There were 14 state wrestling championships on the Track Wrestling platform. You can see the U.S. map back here. The states we covered were highlighted in blue. But before we dive into some state overviews, let's just talk about some of the emotions. Great wrestlers. Showed why they're great. They dominated, but there were some of the biggest upsets in high school wrestling history, and we got to see them on Track Wrestling.
It was incredible. The word I keep coming back to, Kyle, is stunning. We saw stuff that, just left us shaking our heads. Stunning upsets, stunning outcomes. We saw a guy that was winning by 3 with 10 seconds to go lose. We saw something that's never happened before in the state of Iowa. Just left us stunned.
Let's start with that. State of Iowa had a match that really boiled down to 5 seconds. 5 seconds at the end of a match, and our jaws were on the floor.
Absolutely, and especially because of the history behind it. Aiden Noonan of Cascade comes in, a undefeated returning state champion, but in the minds of many probably across the state of Iowa, he was a heavy underdog. He was facing Adam Allard of West Sioux, Northern Iowa recruit, coming in with a 199 match win streak. And it looked like Allard was going to get it done, was going to become 4-time state champ until 5 seconds to go, final 5 seconds. He got cranked over, 5 count to end it. Aiden Noonan wins it 4-2. Unbelievable outcome, the way that match ended. And as I mentioned, 199 consecutive wins for Allard. He was 1 match away from sole possession of the longest win streak in Iowa history. And prior to that match, guys who were facing potential 4-timers, guys who had won 3 going for a 4th on Saturday night in Des Moines, were 0-27.
Made some big history there, and as you know, when you win 4 state championships in the state of Iowa, you are a legend, and it did happen for 1 4-timer, Cale Happel of Lisbon. He won his 4th state championship, and that's a big deal, especially in small-town Lisbon where they love their wrestling.
Yeah, and especially in the Happel family where you got to win 4 to keep pace with your big brother. Carter Happel won 4. Cale's now a 4-timer. Dean Happel, their father, is a 3-timer, so the Happels add to their title count.
National number 1, Drake Ayala of Fort Dodge, made quick work in the finals, 45-second fall. Team races, Don Bosco avenged their state dual meet loss. They defeated Lisbon, who was in 2nd place, Osage in 2A1, and then 3A Waverly Shell Rock. We'll go to Illinois. As we've mentioned all along, they don't keep team score. It's the state dual meet championship that determines the ultimate state team title, but there were some big matches here. Montini Catholic has had at least 3 individual champions for 4 years in a row, but they had a little bit more than 3 this time around.
Yeah, they won 5. They went 5-5, 5 for 5 in the finals, 4-2 in the other placement matches. Really strong tournament for Israel Martinez's team.
How about 113, Sergio Lemley over Diego Sotelo, 2nd week in a row. He's beaten him. He's just had a really solid tournament all the way through.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic freshman season, and then to win over a top 10 national guy a week ago, and then to back it up, 6-4 win in the finals at 113. Impressive performance by the Mount Carmel freshman.
170 was the opposite way, though. It flipped around. Last week a win, this week another win.
Yeah, so Luke Rasmussen won in the sectional semifinals against David Ferrante, a returning state champion. Went the other way. Ferrante scored, gave up the first 2. Rasmussen scored the first takedown of the match. It was all Ferrante after that. 8-2. Big mat return and back points at the end of the first period. Kind of seized control of the match there and goes on to win his 2nd state title.
How about this at 195 pounds? National number 12, Daniel Jezik upset national number 9, Brandon Hazelton, 3-2 at 285 pounds. We mentioned this last time. Hayden Kopis going against Iowa football recruit Tyler Ellsbury. He had to get to sudden victory, pulled out a takedown there. 126, national number 9. Dylan Ragusin won by tech fall in the finals. And then at 106 pounds, national number 3, Cannon Webster pin, major, and looked good doing it. So Illinois, as we go through this, they have a lot of firepower coming out of the state.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, 195 is one that sticks with me as a high caliber match. Two nationally ranked guys going at it. Hazelton was trying to win his third in 3 years. Maybe came a second away from getting it. He was in position potentially to score the winning takedown, lost 3-2 as time expired. So one of the really high caliber matches of the night, and one that left us on the edge of our seats.
Let's go out to Colorado, where there were four wrestlers seeking history, trying to become four-time state champions, and no upsets here.
Nope. All four of them took care of business. Wesley Von Mater of John Mall in 2A, Pueblo East heavyweight Andy Garcia, and then the Windsor teammates Dominic Serrano and Isaiah Salazar all won their fourth titles. Serrano and Salazar, the first tandem of teammates to win four in the same year. Both of them did it in convincing fashion. Salazar scored a second period pin. Serrano put 22 points on the board in a major decision there.
How about Vince Carnella? Not bad.
Yeah,
3 years.
Yeah, he was awesome. He's going to be going for his fourth next year. He went tech through the tournament.
And then just to mention, Hudson Kropp became the first state champion from Fort Collins High School since 1973. And then we look at this. Tie for first place in 3A. Eaton and Valley tied 105.5 to 105.5. So interesting how you can have all that wrestling and it comes down to a tie for first place. Nebraska, I tell you what, Isaac Trumbull, man, he might need to step up his game. He had falls in the first three matches in under a minute. And then it took a minute 18 in the finals to pull that out. But we're kidding. But number 5, Isaac Trumbull of Millard South, won fall. Final fall was in 1 minute and 18 seconds. Millard South won by 70 points over Lincoln East. And 132 might be one of the biggest upsets in the nation.
Yeah, so Jakason Burks, number 6 in the country, Oklahoma State recruit, going for his third title against Connor Knopick of Millard South. And what a highlight for Millard South, as you mentioned, from the team front, but individually for Connor Knopick to pull out this match, and in the way he did, too. It probably one of the most entertaining matches of the day, even though there were no takedowns scored. Incredible drama at the end of regulation. Jakason Burks scored a reversal to go up 2-1, and 8 seconds to go, they go out of bounds. Jakason Burks still on top. Knopick gets to his feet. Burks pulls him back into his lap. They get into a loss of control situation. Not sure whether it's a reversal, whether it's no change, whether it's 1. The officials conferred, called it 1. Goes to overtime. Goes scoreless through the first sudden victory period. Goes into the tiebreakers, and Connor Knopick scores a reversal with about 10 seconds to go. Rides him out to win 4-2.
Big match there. We'll go out to Indiana, where not many times are you going to see 13 points put on the board and you lose the match. That happened at 132 pounds. You saw that match. Explain what happened.
Yeah, so Jesse Mendez, number 2 in the country at 132, returning state champion. Gets hit with a lefty headlock in the first period, and it was tight. Managed to wiggle out of that one and then went back to work and put up a lot of points on his feet. 9 takedowns, really collective calm and collective performance on his part. It didn't seem to rattle him at all. And, he's number 2 in the country for a reason, a lot of reasons. And we saw a lot of those reasons in the finals, just the way, the offensive barrage that he unleashed in the finals.
National number 3 at 195 pounds, Silas Allred pinned his way through the tournament. And there's only one class in Indiana State Wrestling, and that was won by Indianapolis Cathedral, won the state team title over Crown Point, 102 to 93.5. Missouri has a lot of good wrestlers. Liberty dominated the 4A division with 241 points, 94.5 points better than Park Hill. And then there was a good guy named Jeremiah Reno, becomes the third unbeaten 4-time state champion in Missouri history. This guy is really good.
Yeah, third undefeated 4-timer, 179-0, Nebraska bound. Wins a major in his final match in Missouri. Tremendous career, and caps his career alongside a tremendous performance for his team.
And then as we talk about some of the weird things and the interesting things that happened, Damon Ashworth has to be near the top of the list.
Yeah, absolutely. He's down 3, 10 seconds to go, and picks up a stall point right before he scores a reversal. And, some debate on whether it was a reversal or not. Tough call at the end of regulation there, but they give him a reversal. Goes to OT, and right away he scores to cap the most stunning turnaround that we saw all night.
Tell us about Kyler Brewer and Corbin Shepard. That was an interesting match.
Yeah, so these guys, Kansas City rivals here for the past couple of years, and they've gone back and forth. Both guys have won matches each of the last 2 years against each other. They've had some barn burners that go into overtime. This one, again, goes into overtime, and Kyler Brewer comes away with a state title after Corbin Shepard won the state title last year when they met in the finals.
National number 1 Rocky Elam with a major decision in the finals, so he set the pace there and looking good. He'll be with the Tigers next year of the University of Missouri. Virginia, national number 20 at 182 pounds, Sam Fisher pinned his way through the tournament, and ODU head wrestling coach Steve Martin probably had a special moment tonight as well.
Yeah, absolutely. His son Max wins the 106-pound title as a senior, so congratulations to the Martin family.
Christiansburg had the run there for 17 years, but back-to-back titles for New Kent, and that's got to feel good knowing that they're challenging a real powerhouse there, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely, and we mentioned the show coming out of Friday that they were trailing. Christiansburg had an 18-point lead. New Kent pulls away on Saturday, wins by, I believe, 19 points. Tremendous performance on Saturday with 5 champs, 7 in the finals, so they've backed up what they did a year ago.
Out to Washington, where they have a great following out there. National number 8 Braxton Mikesell won in the finals 10-3 over Trace Franks. Franks had pinned his way up to the finals, so you thought maybe there was going to be a tussle there, but Mikesell showed a nice offensive array and won that match handily. Just a pretty impressive performance by Tanasket. I think we had to actually look that up to see if that was the right pronunciation. In the 1B, 2B division, won by 171.5 points over second place. Big win there. Tennessee National, number 12, 285-pounder Skylar Coffey of Brentwood had 5 matches and all falls or technical falls on his way to the state championship. So congratulations to him. And then we'll end with Texas. Allen won by 103.5 points over second place Arlington Martin as we close out this big weekend. Just some final thoughts from you. You mentioned just some of the things that happened. You followed this close for a long time. I don't know how you could replicate this in a week when we have additional state tournaments on the platform, but we'll see if there's going to be something new coming up.
Well, we're going to replicate it next week. We're going to be a big lineup of state tournaments again next week, and we got some tradition-rich states, Oklahoma, Michigan, California. We're going to see some high-caliber wrestling in those states, Wisconsin. I'm going to leave out a few if I keep trying to rattle them off here, but it's going to be hard to top this week, man, and especially what we saw on Saturday night. It was an amazing Saturday night of wrestling to follow up what was pretty incredible Thursday and Friday too, and we could probably keep going here for maybe another half hour to hour talking about the things that we witnessed and going into other states as well. But it's a lot of fun, Kyle.
Let's close out the biggest high school wrestling weekend of the year, but make sure to tune in next week. We're going to have more state wrestling championships on the Track Wrestling platform. But for now, thanks for watching.